waiter, mop salesman, and technical writer. This spice is Christiane. They don't have children yet. These animals are Jasper the cat, Books and Dobie, dogs. Okay, he's got a lot of pets. Hobbies, long walks on the beach, yoga, and making video. His burning desire is unknown. You'll have to have a one-to-one with him to find that out. You'll also have to have one to find out his keys to success. The illustrious Mr. Nick Catucci.
Thank you very much. I'm going to open up my presentation with something that we don't really learn in American education, but we should. I think Linda Jean and some of you others may agree with me. Let's take a deep inhale breath through our nose. Just let your lungs fill all the way up. And then a nice exhale out through the nose. Exhale anything that might be holding you back, any stress you might have today. Inhale the greatness that you receive from the universe. Go ahead, take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And go ahead and exhale anything, any stressors you might have, because we really shouldn't have any, right? We live in a free country. We have the opportunity to compete in business. A lot of exciting things going on. Let's take a nice big inhale of joy and happiness through the nose. And exhale that last little bit of anything that's just, doesn't need to be there. Just go ahead and get it out. Let's do one nice Om, shall we? To go ahead and really connect our souls in some positivity here. Does anybody need a practice Om? Om. Feels good, doesn't it? So breathing, that's what I'm talking about today, breathing, because we can't really think if we're not breathing. I mean, we can't think if we're not eating, and we can't think if we're not drinking water. But breathing certainly seems to be it's just not brought up as much. You don't go to McDonald's and get a bottle of air. It's all around us all the time. It's free. We can stop and take a breath at any time. It clears our mind, gives us a perception of what we're doing. And that's really what I'm in the business of. I'm not in the business of me. It's not ego-based. I'm in the business of storytelling. And to come up with a very clean and concise story, you don't need to do anything. You know what your story is. You know, we all in this room and everyone that we interact with knows their story. And their story is rooted in their soul. They carry it with them all the time. It's the most important part of what you do. Your story connects you with everyone that you meet. You know, when you meet someone and they get a bad impression of you, they got a bad story. You cut someone off in traffic, you're giving them a bad story. Now they've got a bad first impressions can be very hard to overcome. Video can be good, can be a really good first impression. And I think what makes me an empathetic videographer is that I'm very interested in people. I'm very interested in their story. I'm very interested in how they got there. I'm interested in their personal fingerprint that makes them unique, that gives them what their competition doesn't and could never have, because that is theirs. That is what they have. My ideal client is anyone with a great story, and that's, you know, something that I can draw out of them even if they don't see it. And the way I do that is when we first meet and we sit down and we get to know each other, I take the camera and I kind of don't make much of it, you know? It's not about the camera. It's about them, and they're just reflecting on the camera. The camera is capturing their image in motion, great audio, lapel mic situation, something like this. It's going to be tucked away a little bit better. Whatever. And now I take that, I clean up the audio, I cut it very cleanly. You've heard me say this if you've seen me present before. I have a layered diagram of foam that I've brought up here with me to show you how I cut things and put them together. A lasagna, right? So I take that lasagna of their personal impression, I put it together, and really they're putting it together. I'm pulling it out of them, I'm extracting it from them, I'm extracting a good story. And when you see me hosting 60 Minutes in 20 years, everyone will be like, where did this guy come from? Well, I've been doing really good interviews every day for a very long time. And that's the key, is to be involved, be personally invested in what is being splayed out in front of my camera, making it good, smiling back at them, giving them something to be happy about, encouraging, motivating, breathing, giving them a chance to breathe. There's no rush. I'm very patient when I'm filming because I control the time. You know, it's all digital, it's very cheap, essentially. When I bring something out, it doesn't have to happen right away, but usually, if someone is engaged, if they've been breathing, if they're connected with their inner fingerprint, and they're able to convey that, which everyone can, makes my job very easy. So essentially, my job is very easy. You heard Denise say one of my hobbies is videography. It's also my profession, it's my income, it's my life. Wouldn't you all like to have that? I think some of you do. I think some of you and your passion and your hobby, they're very closely intertwined. So we're all very lucky in this room if we've managed to achieve that for ourselves. When I was in San Diego last week, the government flew me out there, wanted to hear some things that I had to say, and so I flew coach and I didn't get a rental car. Usually when I go somewhere, I've got a car. I've always got a car. I feel good. I get in the car, comforting. Car goes where I want it to go. I'm in control. I'm the master. San Diego, they do have some very good public transportation, so there's no real need to rent a car, and I took advantage of it. But for some of you, getting in a video might be like me getting in a bus or an Uber or taking a train somewhere. It's a little bit unexpected, and some of the people you might come across might feel the same way. So I think for me, the best thing I can do is just meet for someone, 45 minutes, half an hour, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute. I really just need to get in front of people, talk to them, and even if they don't solicit my business, I can still give them something very valuable. I have a whole packaged set of building blocks that lead to a really great video, and that's engaging with your client. And I have a lot of great ways that people can do that, even if they don't give me cash. Eventbrite, Meetup. Angel mentioned he was looking for some street fairs to get in front of people. That's always one of the first things I suggest. And foundation for a great video is a great website. So I always talk about Bonnie, the blog, having the blog, 500 words. This is the search engine optimization that brings people to the video. You can't build a house in a mud hole, You have to have a solid foundation. And that's what brings you that. Vlogging, blogging. People have 2 cameras on their cell phone in their pocket if they only have one cell phone. If they've got a laptop, they've got another camera right there. 3 cameras. Use them. Golden Art Video Production and Editing. Thank you very much. Rock on.